Spurs vs Mavericks prediction, picks and odds for tonight's NBA game. More minutes will equal more production for Najee Marshall tonight, as our NBA betting picks explain. The San Antonio Spurs travel to the Metroplex to take on the Dallas Mavericks in an NBA Southwest Division battle. Najee Marshall is one of the more consistent Mavs that haven't been traded, and my Spurs vs Mavericks predictions expect Marshall to stuff the stat sheet tonight. Read on for my NBA picks for Thursday, February 5th. Spurs vs Mavericks prediction. Spurs vs Mavericks best bet. Najee Marshall over 9.5 rebounds plus assists, plus 102. Najee Marshall might see an uptick in his typical 30-plus minutes. With the Dallas Mavericks trading away key rotation pieces like Anthony Davis and D'Angelo Russell, Marshall is in a good spot to flourish. Marshall has cleared 9.5 rebounds plus assists in 7 of his last 8 games, averaging just over 11 in that stretch. At better than plus money, Marshall's heavy minutes and rebounding flow make this a strong play against a San Antonio Spurs group playing on no rest. Spurs vs Mavericks same game parlay. Marshall should still put up numbers, but San Antonio is in a good spot to win this game. Dallas is short-handed, and the Spurs should be able to take advantage, adding to their strong 15-10 road record against a depleted Mavericks lineup. The Spurs are 9-15 to the under on the road, and their elite defense is well suited to slow down a Mavericks team that's gone 21-29 to the under this season while dealing with multiple absences. Spurs vs Mavericks SGP. Najee Marshall over 9.5 rebounds plus assists. Spurs moneyline, under 228. From downtown SGP. Johnson drains some threes. Keldon Johnson snapped a brutal shooting slump last night, going 4 for 8 from beyond the arc. At this price, backing a 39% three-point shooter to make at least 2 triples makes sense, especially against a Dallas defense that's allowed nearly 40% shooting from deep over its last 5 games. Spurs vs Mavericks SGP. Najee Marshall over 9.5 rebounds plus assists. Spurs moneyline, under 228. Keldon Johnson over 1.5 made threes. Spurs vs Mavericks odds. Spread. Spurs -6, -110. Mavericks +6, -110. Moneyline. Spurs -240. Mavericks +200. Over, under. Over 222.5, -110, under 222.5, -110. Spurs vs Mavericks betting trend to know. The Spurs have hit the money line in 17 of their last 30 away games, plus 19.35 units, 35% ROI. Find more NBA betting trends for Spurs vs Mavericks. How to watch Spurs vs Mavericks. Location: American Airlines Center, Dallas, Texas. Date: Thursday, February 5, 2026. Tip-off: 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. TV: Ken's 5, Mavs TV.